you felt like you were in a nightclub. What'd you say? And I didn't mean to disturb you. Lock it in and we can start.
No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you've come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Yeah. Woo. Let's rise up.
Rise up. Rise up this morning. Rise up and say, love is alive in my heart, in my life today. I can feel it, spirits in this place. I can see it shining on its face. Rise up this morning. Rise up and say, love is alive in our hearts, in our lives. When? Today. Here for each other, the way it's meant to be. Sisters and brothers, one great family. So rise up this morning. Rise up and say, love is alive everywhere in the world today. All right, put your hands together, y'all. Rise up this morning. Rise up and say, love is alive in my heart, in my life, everywhere in this world, every place in this place. Love is alive.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Boy, is it ever. Way to go, everyone. Wow, it's great to see you all here. Hope you had a fabulous Christmas. We certainly did in our household. Just enjoying this holiday season. So Christmas Eve service was really beautiful. Christmas Day, yeah, well, it was. We had some wonderful participants in that. And then on Christmas Day, we went over and sang at Virginia Home for Adults. How many of you went over there for that? So we had a really nice turnout for that. I want to thank Marsha Austin for being the lead on that. I thought it was our best time ever there. Did you guys agree? Yeah, it's just a gift in both directions. Felt really blessed to be there and to be able to shine our light and lift them up a little bit. So now we prepare to move into 2020. Big exciting service today and some other things happening this week. So I'm glad you're here to be a part of all of it. Well, unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We follow the teachings and the example of our way shower, Jesus, in seeking to more fully love ourselves, love God, and love one another. From that beautiful consciousness of love here in unity, we honor all paths to God, all names for God, and all expressions of God. And each and every one of you, and each and every one of you watching online today, each and every one of you is an expression of God. And we know that when we really appreciate that truth about ourselves, when we know that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, when we connect with that divine light within us and we behold it in one another, that beautiful light just shines all the more brightly to bless the world. Our vision at Unity Renaissance is, together, a spiritually awakened world living in peace, love, and joy. And we are manifesting that vision through our mission, which is, together, we transform lives that transform the world. Let's begin our time of transformation this morning in prayer. I invite you to close your eyes, take a deep breath in, release and let go. Feeling how right and perfect it is for you to be right where you are in this moment. We appreciate that each of us is here by divine appointment. We got that little message from Spirit, and we said yes. And the same for those viewing online today, that something drew you to be a part of this service, if not in person, then online. We know that each of us is being divinely guided in every step of our spiritual journey. Today, as we release what we no longer want, prepare to embrace what we most truly want, we know that we are on our right and perfect path, that all is being made clear for us. And for this truth and for the joy of sharing our spiritual journey as we rise in consciousness, we are so grateful. Thank you, God, and so it is. Amen.
You guys ready to release? All right, let's stand up. First, Brother Boyd's going to give you a little preaching. He's going to give you a preaching.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you got to let it go, let it all go. And this is what I have to say. Woo!
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm open for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
And now from that great light of Spirit within you, I invite you to join me in our divinity salute as we turn to greet our neighbors with a bow, a handshake, or a hug. Together, the divine in me greets the divine in you, and we serve and celebrate together for the glory of God.
Everybody. I release and I let go.
I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here from God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Let it go.
Wow. Good morning. I am Sheila Downey, and I am pleased to be, for the first time, your platform host today. And appropriately, the word for the day is strength. Please join me in saying it together, our affirmation. The spiritual connectedness, I find my strength. Knowing that I am a member of the human family and belong to a greater community of faith awakens my inner sense of strength and power. James Dillett Freeman, former director of the Silent Unity Prayer Ministry, once described redwood trees as the perfect metaphor for this shared spiritual strength. You know, you'll never see a redwood standing alone, he said. It takes several of them to intertwine those shallow roots and remain standing. Redwoods are like us, I suppose. They find their strength in community. My spiritual roots are intertwined with all of humanity. I am strengthened by my shared interconnectedness with God. This was inspired by Proverbs chapter 20, verse 12. The hearing ear and the seeing eye, the Lord has made them both. After the service today, we have prayer chaplains available to pray with you. If you have a celebration or a joy you'd like to share, or have a heavy heart, it is our desire that you do not leave here today without someone holding you in prayer. The chapel is out the door to the left, and it's just past the bookstore. And our chaplains today are Alan and Debbie, and if they would please stand, you can recognize them by their beautiful prayer stoles. And if everyone else would please stand and join in the Lord's Psalm.
Holy Creator, we praise your name. Your will in heaven and earth the same. Supply our needs, Lord, from day to day. Let your forgiveness light our way. Lead us away from temptation's fold. Deliver us, Lord, into your fold. For all the kingdom, power, and praise, with you began and with you stay. Holy
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever.
Every morning, the light keeps getting brighter as I wake up to the truth. And every day, I'm feeling so much lighter, and the world seems fresh and new. What I was taught and the things that I saw stopped serving me long ago. Now I'm learning to trust in the God of all of us. Each day I start anew, and so I'm walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I'd walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to confusion. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I'd walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to confusion. Today is the day I'd walk away. Every day I'd walk away. Every morning brings a new beginning. By grace, another day to be. I awaken to the sun upon me shining, lighting the way for me to see. Oh, what I was taught and the things that I saw stopped serving me long ago. Now I'm learning to trust in the God of all of us. Of yesterday I'm letting go. I'm walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I'd walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to confusion. Today is the day I'd walk away. I'm walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I'd walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to confusion. Today is the day I'd walk away. Every day I'd walk away. Today is the day. Let's walk away.
Boy, clap, ladies and gentlemen.
This week at Unity churches across the country, people will be participating in a burning bowl ceremony. We're going to be participating in one today. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, the burning bowl ceremony, it gives us an opportunity to write down on a little piece of paper, a little piece of flash paper that you received in your bulletin. You write on that little piece of paper everything you want to let go of, well, as much as you can fit on the paper anyway. You write down on that paper what you want to let go of, what you want to release. Could be a habit or an idea or belief or pattern in your life. And then we put it in the fire in this little bowl up here, and poof, there it goes. It's gone. Feels wonderful. This is one of the most popular rituals in the Unity movement. In fact, it is so popular that Unity World headquarters at Unity Village now does a virtual burning bowl online so that people all around the world can participate. It seems that we are all quite eager to give up what we no longer want in our lives. Whether it's fear or anxiety or depression, illness, relationship issues, job problems, debt, unhealthy habits, whatever it is, we are more than ready to let it go. Or are we? Because you have to wonder, if we are so eager to give these things up, why have we held on to them for so long? Why have we prolonged these ways of being that no longer serve us? Well, the simple answer is it's because we're used to it. It's our normal. We're used to living this way, to having these attributes. Even if they make us miserable, at least we know what to expect. The deeper reason is because we don't know who we would be without them. You see, we hold on to our outworn beliefs, our outworn ideas, even things that cause us pain. Because if we give them up, we are also giving up a part of who we have known ourselves to be. We're giving up an old us. You see, on some level, maybe it's not conscious, but on some level, the question arises for us when we contemplate this kind of change. Well, who will I be without this blank? Who will I be without that stroke? I feel a lot calmer, man. Woo! Hello, universe. Oh. Please tell me we can do something about that. We don't have anybody with seizure issues here, do we? All right, we're going to persevere here. But we ask ourselves, who would I be? Who would I be without that fear? Who would I be without that issue? Thank you. Who would I be without that story? Who would I be if I were not a victim? Who would I be if I didn't worry about money all the time? Who would I be if I let go of that relationship or that job or that addiction? You know, it feels like we're falling into an abyss if we let go of those things. You know, the truth is that we're so afraid of the unknown, we're so afraid of making a mistake or being alone or feeling empty that we cling to these attachments even when we know they're not good for us. We continue to live that way. We can go on that way forever. We can go on for a good long while until and unless we get a wake-up call. We get a wake-up call. That wake-up call may come from something happening on the outside in our lives, or it may come as an inner realization. But regardless, when it comes, it is very clear and very sharp. And the message to us is this: I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to carry this anymore. I don't want to carry these burdens. I don't want to feel this heaviness in my life. I don't want to be this person anymore. And that's huge. And as frightening as it might be, it is a sure sign that we are ready for transformation. We're ready for a major change, a major shift. And the first step in that transformation is surrender. You know, surrender often gets a bad rap. We think that surrender means defeat, or it means capitulation, that it is a sign of weakness. And the opposite is true. Surrender isn't resignation. It doesn't mean giving up. Richard and Mary Alice Jaffola, in their wonderful book, Great Unity Primer called The Quest, they say in there that surrender, when we surrender, it's not so much giving up as giving over. You see, we're giving over a lower level of consciousness for a higher level of consciousness. We are releasing the shackles of the ego so that we can experience the great freedom of higher wisdom. And it's really, you can think of it as sort of like graduating from one level of understanding to another. And so goes our spiritual journey, right? And also the way of life. The old must be relinquished for the new to come forth. We see it in nature. The caterpillar has to surrender to become a butterfly. The hawk egg has to surrender being an egg in order to become a hawk. We had to surrender being children and teenagers in order to become adults. Similarly, I bet you can each think of maybe a way you've been in the past, maybe in your younger years. Those of you who are still young, use your imagination here. But you think back to a way you used to be. Perhaps you were shy. Perhaps you were a daredevil. Perhaps you were someone who couldn't commit. But you look back on it now and you say, yeah, that's really not me anymore. In the truest sense, that was never you. It was just a personality that you adopted for that period of time. It really is a false self, because your true self is unchanging. Your true self is God in you, that brilliant, unique expression of light that shows up in, through, and as you. And so when we know this, when we know the truth of who we are, and that these outer behaviors are really connected to sort of a false idea of who we are, we can more readily release them. We don't feel that existential threat. How many of you are familiar with the Enneagram? Yeah, we taught a class on this a while back. Probably time to teach it again. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, the Enneagram is termed like a sacred psychology. And essentially it describes 9 personality types, which is kind of it, but it goes deeper than that. It really is portraying 9 different models of the universe that people have. 9 different ways that people sort of look at life and determine how they are going to relate to life. And the beautiful thing, Graham, is it tells you for each specific type, what's your biggest problem and what's your greatest gift. And remarkably, they are the same. Do I need a handheld? The basic premise of the Enneagram is that we have 2 selves. We have our true essential self, as we're talking about, God in us, and then we have our false self. We have our personality. And the false self is really what we have created as a coping strategy for how to live life. On some level we decided, okay, I'm going to be this way. This is how I'm going to manage everything. But the false self is not who we truly are. It's just who we think we are. And so as we study the Enneagram, we do so with the idea of discovering in what ways, when we know our type, in what ways we're identifying with our false self so that we can break free of it and return to our true self. And we do that largely through self-observation. Well, my Enneagram type is a 4. A 4. A 4 is a tragic romantic. Right. A 4 is sensitive, idealistic, I'm summarizing, sensitive, idealistic, romantic, somewhat prone to melancholy, tends to kind of wear their emotions on their sleeve. This doesn't sound like me at all, does it? But the downside of a 4, or 4 who is not self-aware, is that they can tend to make a bigger deal out of things than necessary. Right, to sort of stir up some emotion there.
Drama queen.
Drama queen. Which is, honestly, in all honesty, that That is not how I've ever seen myself, but there's definitely been a lot of internal drama, particularly when I was younger. Nevertheless, the 4 will make a bigger deal out of things than is necessary. Well, when I found this out, that I was a 4, I was not happy. And I was tempted to make a very big deal out of it. And in fact, most people are not happy when they find out their Enneagram type. Am I right on that? Yeah, it's like you go through the 9 and you think, okay, this is the one I really, really don't want to be, and that will be the one that you are. But the really liberating truth here, and it was very liberating for me, is to know that's not who you really are. That's the false self that you've adopted. That's the personality. That's your coping strategy. And now that you recognize the pattern, you can heal it. You can heal it. And so for me, that turned into becoming very vigilant in noticing when I was making a mountain out of a molehill. Or if someone would try to pull me into a situation or sort of enlist me in creating drama, I would just, no, I'm just not going there. I don't want to do that. Nor would I initiate it myself. You know, a lot of it, I think, came from getting older and realizing that it takes a lot of energy to get all worked up about things and just not wanting to keep doing that, but rather to have peace in my life. There's been a whole lot of more peace in my life. Unity's had a lot to do with that. Richard's had a lot to do with that. What made the biggest difference is I wanted to be happy. I wanted to stop putting myself through that. So the point here is that we all have mistaken ideas about who we are and how we need to show up in life in order to succeed. We all have patterns of behavior that we don't like. We all have habits that we want to release. And the real big learning here is that as we release those, we get closer to who we truly are. You see, we begin to see that, and it's just like, yes, I'm letting this go now. The more we center in the truth within us, the easier that becomes. So today and next Sunday is sort of our 2-step process for releasing who we are not, right? We're letting go of these ideas that we were in the past of, when you put your behavior on there, something you want to release, you're also releasing the person that used to have that in their life. You're saying, I'm not that person anymore. I'm releasing fear. I'm not going to be fearful. I'm not a fearful person. If I'm releasing debt, I'm not going to be someone who overspends or whatever it is. You see, there's a lot more to it than just releasing the attribute. And so this is huge. We release the false self in the ceremony today, and then next Sunday, hope you all come back for our white stone ceremony, because that is so inspiring, having sort of cleared the way, if you will, for a greater understanding of who we truly are. We now invite guidance from Spirit. What's my direction for the year? What's my intention? What am I to focus on? We write it on a white stone and we keep it throughout the year. The reality today is that it would be so lovely if what we put in there was really gone, would it not? You put it in the fire and, okay, that's over. How great. It doesn't exactly work that way. We continue to release. But what we have done is gotten very clear and very courageous in writing down exactly what it is that we want to let go of, and now we work it. We work it probably every day, just like me letting go of those old habits. We surrender over and over again. But the really exciting thing is that there's a great gift for us in that. Because as we surrender, we discover that when we truly give it over to God, higher power, divine intelligence, infinite life, whatever works for you, as we truly turn it over, that something wondrous happens. There's a whole new energy that kicks in for us. There's a whole new level of awareness and possibilities and resources that come to the forefront. We are filled with a sense of sureness and support that we weren't expecting. It's a little bit miraculous. Cynthia Bourgeault is a well-known spiritual author, and she says this. She calls this, when we surrender and we turn it over to our higher power, if you will, it's an alchemical breakthrough. She writes, in the moment of that struggle, the Christ mysteriously makes itself present and takes things the rest of the way. You see, we're in the flow. We're in the flow. And all unfolds in really astoundingly perfect ways. Today, after you put your paper in the flame, I want you to notice how you feel. Typically, people feel the freedom of release. They feel a little bit lighter. And what I want you to know is that that feeling that you are going to have today is just a tiny indicator of the exhilaration and liberation that you will feel when you truly leave all of this behind. That feeling, that uptick of energy that you feel in you is your heart speaking to you. It's the universe cheering you on. So stay strong, stay clear, keep going. Let's turn now to our meditation. I invite you to close your eyes, take a deep breath in. Let it go. And one more time, breathing in deeply. This beautiful sacred energy. And release. Feel yourself fully relaxing from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Knowing in this moment that you are divinely safe and protected, loved and cared for. That indeed all is working together for your highest good. I invite you to reflect back on your own life journey, the ups and the downs, the challenges, the triumphs. In particular, appreciate those times when you summoned the courage to surrender, when you laid down an old way of being, an old situation, and you turned to that light within you. And it led you on. Appreciate the blessings that came from that, the newness, the expansion of your true nature. I invite you to bring that same awareness into this present moment. As you turn your attention and your awareness to whatever is weighing on your heart, whatever is blocking your joy or your light. Listen for what you most dearly want to release and let go. Listen for your guidance in the silence. As we return our awareness to this room, we do so with a sense of clarity, courage, and determination. We know what we wish to release. And so we take these moments now to write on our slip of paper whatever has come to us, whatever attitude, behavior, belief, circumstance, situation, whatever we most fervently are ready to give up, and to do that now. Thank you, God, for this amazing process of transformation and for all the glory of God unfolding for each of us. And so it is. Amen. Those of you who are watching online, you could certainly do this ceremony at home. Write on a piece of paper what you wish to give up, and you can either put it in a candle flame, being very careful, or if you prefer, just write it on a piece of paper and rip it up into little pieces and throw it in the trash. I've done that before too. It can also be very, very freeing. For those of you here in this room who now have, does anybody need a piece of paper? Did anyone not get a flash paper? If anyone needs that, just raise your hand. You need it, Linda? What's that? Oh, okay. She needs some? Okay. Coming around. The ushers are going to lead you to come forward and put your flash paper into the flame. So just want to give you a little instruction about this. The piece of paper that you've been given is called flash paper for a reason. When it ignites, poof, it goes up like that. It's a flash. So as soon as you see that it's ignited, let it go. What are you going to do as soon as it's ignited? Let it go. Thank you. Just telling you, the first person in the last services stood here and held it. I was like, let it go, which is part of the process, correct? All right, so you're going to let it go in there, and it'll just burn instantly. The main thing is to keep yourself safe and, enjoy the process. And so with that, we'll enjoy some beautiful music. The ushers will guide you from the back forward to come on up and let go and let God. How do you feel? I know, right? It's great, isn't it? It's going to get even better for you. Well, thank you all. Thank you to our music team for guiding us through that. Absolutely beautiful. Love that saxophone, man. Isn't that the best? Nick Flores on the sax. Well, now is the time in the service for sharing our love offering, giving back in return for what we have received, not just today, but all through the year here at Unity Renaissance, the last Sunday of 2019. So I invite you to make it a great one. Give from the heart of gratitude within you. Remember, too, that if you'd like to give via your phone, you can do so. Just text the word GIVE to 540-418-1228. It'll get you all set up. When the basket comes around, you just wave your phone over it to give it that special blessing. Please join me now in our offertory blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Where I'm going, I've been asking all my life, and I've grown tired of all this wandering when everything seems to turn out right. So when my mind needs something to do, wants to know the future, I whisper this: I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be that way. So here goes nothing, taking a chance. I'm opening up, knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything, it's all on the line. No, but I'm not afraid this time. Some say it's crazy, some say naive to close my eyes and take the leap. But I know better, 'cause I believe even in the dark my soul can see. So when my mind plays its usual games, I've always been, and I'll always be that way. I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be that way.
You're more than okay, Lily Scott. Awesome. Oh, yeah. Just take a moment to appreciate the blessings of this morning, this day, that incredible song, new insights that we've received. We're so grateful. We're grateful for this place. We're grateful for these gifts given in support of this place. We give thanks for the gifts and the givers as we send them forth now, as we transform lives, that transform the world. Thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. Thanks. This is the time in our service when we welcome those who are new to Unity Renaissance. If you're here today for the first, second, or third time, we invite you to raise your hand nice and high, holding up the appropriate number of fingers, 1, 2, or 3, depending on your first, second, or third visit. Way to go. We're so happy to have you with us today. If you're here for the first time, you look in that little bag. There's a card. Fill the card out. Take it into the bookstore. You get a free CD, a copy of a previous service. If you're here for the second time today, you get 2 CDs. One is of positive, uplifting music from Empower Music and Arts. The other is Sacred Unity Recordings. And on your third time here, you receive a copy of our daily devotional, The Daily Word. So thank you all for being with us today. We look forward to seeing you again and again.
This Tuesday night is New Year's Eve, and we are having a special service called the Call of the Divine. It starts at 7 p.m., and it will be singing and chanting and sharing the wisdom of the mystics. So please come join us, and you'll be home by the time the ball drops.
It's going to be a really great service. If you don't have anything planned for New Year's Eve, really invite you to come out for it. We're going to look at, share some of the writings of Meister Eckhart, Rumi, Hildegard of Bingen, and Teresa of Avila, and also just chant the most gorgeous music. So we'd love to have you with us for that. Coming up this Friday is our next Higher Consciousness film. It's Green Book. How many of you have seen Green Book? So it won the Oscar for Best Picture in 2018. Absolutely fabulous movie, very timely in its themes, even though it's set back in the 1960s, about an unexpected bond that develops between a concert pianist and his driver. Here's a preview.
Yeah, some guy called over here, a doctor. He's looking for a driver. You interested?
I am not a medical doctor. I'm a musician. I'm about to embark on a concert tour in the Deep South. What other experience do you have?
Public relations.
Do you foresee any issues in working for a black man?
You in the Deep South, there's gonna be problems.
Promise me you're gonna write me a letter.
I promise. Tell me that don't smell good.
I've never had fried chicken in my life.
You people love the fried chicken.
You have a very narrow assessment of me, Tony.
Yeah, right? I'm good.
You will be interacting with some of the wealthiest people in the country. It is my feeling that your diction could use some finessing.
But why you breaking my balls?
Because you can do better, Mr. Balalonga.
Dear Dolores.
I saw Dr. Shirley play the piano. He's like a genius, I think.
Matt, take it easy.
I prefer not to get grease on my blanket.
Ooh, I'm gonna get grease on my blanket.
This gentleman says that I'm not permitted to dine here.
I'm afraid not. How does he smile and shake their hands like that?
Because it takes courage to change people's hearts.
What are you doing?
A letter.
May I? Dear Dolores, sometimes you remind me of a house. You know this is pathetic, right? Put this down. The distance between us is breaking my spirit. Falling in love with you
Was the easiest thing I have ever done. You just kiss the kids.
That's like clanging a cowbell at the end of Shostakovich's 7.
And that's good.
It's perfect, Tony.
Come on, get out now.
You never win with violence. You only win when you maintain your dignity.
You don't know your own people. You, Mr. Big Shot, doing concerts for rich people.
So if I'm not black enough, and if I'm not white enough, then tell me, Tony, what am I?
Anyone can sound like Beethoven. But your music, what you do, only you can do that.
What do we do about the bones?
We do this.
Pick it up, Tony.
Squirrels would have ate it anyway.
Pick it up.
Call heartwarming, inspiring, uniting film. So come out and join us 7 o'clock this Friday. And now we have a special announcement. If debt is one of the things you want to let go of, or your money habits you want to improve in 2020, we have just the thing for you. Here's Penny Sanchez to tell us about it.
Good morning, Unity Renaissance. Just as Reverend Paula said, we have Prosperity Plus 3 coming again in January. And if you want to create that life that you've always wanted to, you've been dreaming about, this is the course for you. It could be about relationship, it could be about finances, it could be any of the things that we burnt up today. It's going to be a nice addition to what we've started today. The class will start on January 22nd. It's a 7-week experiment that Mary Morrissey is inviting each of us to go in that journey with her. And you can sign up in the lobby right after the church service. It's a 7-week class, and it starts January 22nd. Anything else? I will be out there, and I can answer your questions. I invite you to join us. Thank you.
Thank you. So Penny's been trained by Mary Morrissey, so she's really going to do a deep dive into the material. For those of you who took it, amazing things happened in the last round of this class, did they not? Those of you who were here, incredible. So if you took it last time, you want to take it again, you can do so. You don't need to buy the materials, but please do sign up on the hall wall so that we know that you'll be joining us. We have 2 other things coming up to help you out starting your new year right. We have 2 seminars coming up to help you with sort of your legal activities, making sure that you leave things in good order for your loved ones when you pass on. So we have 2 free seminars coming up. The first one is really about wills and trusts. If you have questions about that sort of thing, as well as second marriages, preservation of assets, et cetera. It's really kind of estate planning, if you will. That's 6 to 8 p.m. on Wednesday, January 8th. Then we have a legal aid seminar, 12:30 p.m. on Sunday, January 12th, to talk again about wills, power of attorney, medical directives, all the steps that you know you need to take to leave things in good order for your loved ones. So you don't need to sign up for that. Just mark your calendars and plan to join us. And we have one more quick spotlight announcement. Another great offering in 2020. Please welcome up Gail Boynton.
Good morning. Y'all look great. Heart Math is an organization that researches the heart, but not like your cardiologist might. It's more in the context of intuitive intelligence. And Heart Math came up with a series of techniques that align your heart, your brain, and that chemical factory known as your emotions. And they call it coherence. And coherence is a sense of composure, of clear thinking, of optimal performance, confidence, and resilience, the capacity to prepare for, adapt to, and recover from stressful, challenging situations. So I'm going to be teaching that system called Building Personal Resilience starting in February. But on January 19th, I invite you to come after the service, like 12:30 or so, and we will answer questions about Heart Math and what the small groups that we're going to set up are going to do. I'm only one person, so I'm going to do one small group at a time, maybe 2, like on different dates, depends on availability, interest, and we'll just keep doing that as long as there's interest, and I hope you will come. There is a technology that's available that gives you feedback that is not required, but if this is something you know about and you know you're going to want to do, it's on sale, so you can talk to me afterwards, and I'll be happy to tell you how you can get a hold of that.
Very excited. Heart math. Woohoo! Great stuff. Finally, hope you're all back with us next Sunday. Bring your friends and family as well. We'll have our White Stone ceremony. Absolutely beautiful opportunity to be clear in setting your intention for the new year and sort of the follow-on to what we did today. So a lot of great things coming up in the new year. With that, let's stand and welcome in our children. You may be seated while I visit with the kiddos. What did you guys learn today? Anybody want to share? Gavin? Did you have your hand up? Would you mind stepping over just to let Gavin through? Thank you.
I celebrate and treat others and myself as the divine, whole, healthy spirits we are.
Treat others as the healthy and whole spirits we are. Coming up. Good morning.
Good morning. Today we learned that we can't love anybody else until we love ourselves.
Can't love anybody else till we love ourselves. Did you have your hand up, darling?
God loves us and we love God.
God loves us and we love God. Beautiful. Anybody else? Good? How about over here? Ruth!
Today we talked about what we're releasing and leaving in 2019, and talking about releasing childish behavior and bringing up adult.
Thank you. It's all good. Kids are awesome. All right, friends, let's stand together now and join hands for our prayer for protection, followed by our peace song. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is